everyone. Today, CYN, just a monster ripper. Mentioned it around 15 bucks and ends up ripping face vertical to almost $42 a share. That's a massive gain, guys. I'm going to be breaking down the stock as well as many other stocks such as GNS, KWE, and many more, guys. I know you guys really like GNS. I got a lot of people commenting on that and liking my post, so I appreciate you. So CYN, it was holding that $15 level, and the reason I mentioned the $15 level is because go to the chart, or if you see the chart in pre-market, this stock goes from $5 to almost $17, and it really respected the $15 level. So after open, that was my biggest level. And what the stock really did that really caught the shorts off guard was that it really halted up, and then it went all the way over 20, which is a big level, and then it halted down. So if you're a short seller, you see a halt down, and then it immediately follows a bigger drop. So this stock goes from 21 to 15 on the dot. You could check, it went to like 15, and then this was before. Let me check the time. When did I mention it? I think that was even before this happened. So it's like, really nice if you saw that post. So it has immediate huge reclaim volume. It bounces all the way up $2 a share. So the smart shorts, if you're a short seller and if you're smart, right, you would have really tight risk management on these lower float stocks, because remember, this is a 1 million float stock. A 1 million float stock with a huge squeeze potential. You could blow up your account in one day, guys. I said it literally yesterday. You could check the video I made yesterday. I pretty much gave a warning to the shorts. So 1 million float, the stock goes from 15, bounces all the way up to almost $20 a share. And then once the stock broke that range, it just went crazy parabolic, because think about all these short sellers that are trapped. So they're basically just running over each other, trying to exit their position, right? They're just covering, just covering. And this stock just goes crazy. So trading is mainly psychological, if you look at it in a sense where people are trading against, emotions, as well as not just emotions, but technical, when their price action doesn't meet their opinion, because a lot of people have ego, right? I think almost every single person in this world has some type of ego. It doesn't matter what the thing is. It could be, a job. It could be family. It could be any sort of situation. I think every single person, if you're watching this, it was myself. We all have had some type of ego, or have that we have to mentally battle, right, to win that, so that we don't get too egotistical. So CYN was a monster. If you have any questions for anything, guys, leave in the comments. I respond to the comments. So next stock we gotta talk about, guys, KWE. Same situation. Look, what's the float on KWE? The float, micro, 600k float. That is so tiny. Like anything under 30 million is low float. I said in many of my videos. And some people definition is under 10 million, some people is 20, but my definition is under 30, because I noticed, it's just my opinion. So after KW made that move up in the pre-market, it made a really nice opportunity for a dip buy. I mentioned it at $8, around $8, and ends up ripping vertical several dollars to almost $12 a share after open. And then I mentioned again that dip opportunity, right? It was at perfect. The dip opportunity around $9.50 a share. Ends up ripping again to $14.20. That's a massive move. And I mentioned this stock like 3 times today, or 4 times, and every single time it had opportunity. And then the stock was massive. This was my favorite play today, and as well as CYN. These 2 plays. And I'll be also mentioning GNS later. That was more of a swing type of play rather than a day trade, right? So that was KWE. Next one is ADIL. ADIL. This one, I mentioned it. That was a multi-day mover. Basically, when I say multi-day mover, that means it ran the previous day, the previous trading day, right? So if you look at the chart right now on ADIL, go to the chart, or if you have it on your watch list, this stock has been running the previous days. You can see it started to run all the way back in pre-market yesterday, and then it ends up just ripping vertical after hours, and then pre-market again, it just starts ripping. I don't know if this had some type of news. It probably did, because this is a biotech, right? Pharmaceuticals, and most biotechs have news very often, actually, especially in extended hours, such as pre-market, especially, or after hours, right? So the stock ended up consolidating, and then once the stock just refused to go down, it made a parabolic squeeze all the way up to 55 cents. So that was a 71% gain. Hope people banked on that one. ADIL, which is just a monster. And if you're watching this, guys, I share traded this every single day live on StockTwits Twitter. You could sign up for free, link in the description. I'm not sponsored by them. It's just real-time trade ideas, because I had some people ask me, where do I share trade ideas? Those are websites. And YouTube is more for recap studying, as well as I do mention picks often too, so on YouTube. So the next play, guys, you already know GNS, man, GNS. So many people really love this stock, GNS, because I mentioned it. You could check yourself the timestamp. You could check when I started mentioning it. It was right near the bottom once it started the run around the 50 cent area. And then it ends up having huge volume, like massive volume. And then it just ends up just continuously grinding, consolidating. And then I mentioned that squeeze psychology. If you remember from COIN, I just talked about earlier in the video. When the stock refuses to round trip, shorts get really nervous, because everybody in this world has emotions, right? Unless you're a robot, or everybody has emotions. So if someone gets scared, what are they gonna do? Panic, right? So if the stock 50 cent just refuses to go down, and then it slowly starts to crawl up, and then you see an explosion of volume, what are you gonna do as a short? What option do you have? Unless you want to blow up, you're gonna cover, right? Because you have to respect the stop loss or the market, right? If you're like one of those, if you don't respect the market will humble you. It doesn't matter if you're long bias, short bias. I'm telling you from experience, guys, the market will humble every single person watching this video. It'll humble everybody. It doesn't matter if you have $1 billion trading account. It doesn't matter who you are. You will get humbled by the market in any one trade or day. So this one, GNS, it made a really, really strong move today. It went all the way up to 131, which is a monster move. It just looks completely in the air, like parabolic, vertical. So this one, again, if you watch my videos, you already know what the next area I'm looking for. If you guess what that is, it would be 150, because again, psychological pivot. As well as if you zoom out and look left, go to daily chart. What's the resistance? What are the resistances? Where's the area where the stock refuses to break out over for an extended period of time over monthly chart? Where is that 150 area, right? 150 to 160. So if this stock starts to actually squeeze over 150 without news or with news, it doesn't even matter at this point, because the volume is insane. Let me check the volume right now. The volume today was, wow, so it was almost 50 million. No, it was almost 40 million shares of volume, right? So if this stock 150 break, that's the key level I'm looking at for continuation. 150, and not just that, but again, I mentioned in the previous GNS video, the range on this stock is not a joke, guys. And I'm not trying to sound too I'm not trying to gas this up, because I'm not, I'm not sponsored. I'm seriously not trying to gas this up. It's just my personality. So look at this range of the stock. It has so much range to the point where $1 is not even a lot. Like, honestly, the stock could squeeze towards $3-4. And again, I'm not saying this as financial advice, guys. It's just my opinion. This could easily go over $2, but again, this has to break that 150, hold, consolidate. And again, if you watch my videos, you know the concept of when a stock makes a crazy move, most likely it will pull back a little bit, consolidate, or make the reset the RSI, because right now it's just crazy push right now. So you want to look for that 150 break. And one thing I really like about GNS, actually, this is my what I'm looking at right now, the GNS company, they keep dropping news that's really nice for the momentum. So if you trade small caps, you know how important PRs are. And this stock, I'm just checking at it today. Just 2 days ago, I mentioned that the CEO, Roger Hamilton, he bought a lot of shares. It was like close to 700,000 shares, which is a lot. And today actually he mentioned Bitcoin purchase, and he's talking about dividends. And the thing again I really like about the CEO is that he's very communicative. Because when I used to swing trade a lot more, this was during COVID, like 6 years ago or something like that. I used to mainly swing trade actually, because during those time periods it was crazy. Even now it's crazy, honestly, small caps. But these CEOs that communicate a lot with their shareholders is really really positive, because not just it doesn't just show confidence, but they're being transparent to what is happening with the stock, right? So this guy, he's talking about how he is trying to legal wins. I don't want to go too deep into it because I'm not really familiar with this guy or the CEO, right? But he's basically talking about how Bitcoin is gonna provide dividends, as well as it's all in all, it's a really positive net outcome for the people that own GNS, right? It doesn't just be investors, but we're talking about traders as well. So GNS, this guy, he knows what he's doing apparently. When every time a stock tries to look weak, right, GNS, it pulls back. He just keeps publishing news. And 150 area, again, I'm watching that 150 area. You guys should definitely add this to your watch list, even if you're not in the stock, because it's really beautiful to see this type of price action where it respects key support levels, and then it ends up ripping face with high volume. I really like seeing that, right? And then, so guys, next stock, BBAI. BBAI is AI sector technology, and I mentioned in the past, but AI sector is really really strong, and it's only going to get stronger. I'm telling you guys, it's only going to get bigger as the years go by. If you have any technology AI stocks that you have that are interested in, you guys should definitely be active in monitoring them and keeping an eye on them. BBAI, I mentioned that one earlier today, ripping face vertical. And I remember this stock I traded in the past. This was just insane. What's the float on this one? I'm pretty sure it's this stock is higher float, but it's just crazy. So the next stock is CORZ. This one is a more expensive stock, but I mentioned it was pushing up. If you watched my video yesterday or the day before, I mentioned how more expensive stocks over $10 basically, they have really clean uptrend price action. So what you all have to do, again, not financial advice, but in my opinion, just draw that trend line. Just draw the trend line, draw the upper trend line, the bottom trend line. And as long as it respects the uptrend, right, you just ride it. I mean, I did this in the past where I actually really like these type of plays where you just follow the 90 MA, which is a momentum indicator for a trend. You just ride it, just ride it, and then you could get off whenever whenever you want to, basically. By the way, speaking about that, I've had a couple people talk to me about when to sell a stock, and I can't really give that information because everybody's different in this world. Everybody has different economic situations. Everybody has different portfolio sizes. Everybody has different experience. I go on and on. So guys, if you take my trade ideas, I think it's the best idea to, scale when you want to, because I can't really say, do this, do that. Specifically, as also goes to financial advice. So I don't want to, get into that stuff. So if you made it to the end of the video, guys, I will be making a lot more videos. I appreciate everybody. You know who you are, guys. We're all gonna succeed in this trading. Have a great night, guys. I'm excited for the upcoming month, July. Let's get it, guys. All right, peace.